A new regional rivalry is born in the United Soccer League. Welcome to Slugger Field. A little bit dreary outside, but that won't temper the expectations for what's sure to be a great opening match in the title defense for Louisville City, the USL's reigning champion. They take on expansion side Nashville SC in their inaugural game. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're so excited to bring this to you. Matt Stubbington is alongside. I'm Mike Watson. For Louisville, they bring most of the players back. And so your focus is on title defense now and the championship season that's in the rearview mirror.
Well, fantastic for the club and the fans to be able to see the defending champions almost in their entirety back. They play an exciting brand of soccer. It's going to be fantastic entertainment for the fans today and probably fantastic entertainment for the rest of the season.
They won all four of their postseason games at Slugger Field, a 7-1 goal differential margin. And season in review, they scored a lot and they had a lot of shutouts. That's pretty positive.
Well, that's what you want to do. That's the recipe for success. And Louisville City did a fantastic job last year, consistent throughout the season, and then finishing it off with that postseason play was fantastic.
And in terms of players back, 15 players from the roster last year. This just a smattering of the key returners.
Well, Del Piccolo makes things tick in the midfield. Spencer did a great job scoring goals up top. Ranjit Singh in net. Had a little dip mid-season, but he has great competition from Dobrovolsky, and Ranjit Singh at the end of the season just stepped up and did a fantastic job to finish the season off.
Expansion teams have done very well in the past in the USL, including Louisville 3 years ago, so Nashville has sky-high expectations starting in the back.
Well, you have to have a good communicator in net. Matt Pickens has a lot of experience, tremendous goalkeeper, plays the position so well, and he will be a leader in the back for this young Nashville soccer club.
A Nashville team that opens up their inaugural season against a Louisville side who played 3 straight games at home to start their title defense. Inaugural game, reigning champions. It comes your way next.
Waiting for spring?
Yes!
Be ready for all the season has to offer with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Now through April 2nd, get 0.9 financing for 60 months on the exciting new 2018 Camry. Or lease this Camry LE for just $229 a month.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
At Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, I focus on taking care of my family, but I also focus on taking care of your family. We firmly believe that you've got to give back. Our primary goal is to do what's right for the patient. If that means glasses, contacts, or treating an eye condition, we will be sure you get the care that you need. We want to take care of you the same way we take care of all our family.
This is our family. And here at Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, we're focused on your family, the community, and most importantly, your vision.
Have a great business concept or invention but don't know how to turn it into something tangible? The U of L MBA program can teach you the business skills needed to turn a great idea into a great business. You'll be taught by faculty who are also serial entrepreneurs and investors and will gain great connections in the entrepreneurial community. If you're serious about taking your idea to the next level, visit uoflmba.com to learn more. Bring your business vision to life with an entrepreneurship MBA from the University of Louisville.
The spring sales event is on now at Kentuckiana's #1 Commonwealth Dodge Ram. A 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 pickup discounted over $10,000, now just $31,800, or lease for just $249 a month. An 18 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT discounted over $9,000 to just $25,500, or lease for $269 a month. And an 18 Dodge Journey now just $16,990.
Coach Scott Davenport here for my good friends at Commonwealth Dodge Ram. Right on Preston and always right on the price.
I got my true start in the culinary arts when I joined the British Army and learned from really, really brilliant chefs. One of the highlights for me was making Princess Anne's wedding cake. I've traveled, I've won numerous awards and competitions, but education is where my heart is. I want each student at Sullivan to receive the mentorship that I received during my training. We are dedicated to educating the next generation of chefs.
GE Appliances welcomes you to the 2018 season opener for Louisville City and Nashville SC. We welcome you back to Slugger Field. Matt Stubbington is alongside Mike Watts. We meet the starting 11s for what's a maiden voyage of this new season. And for Nashville SC, this is their inaugural game, and their inaugural starting 11 starts with Matt Pickens in the back. You could call it a 5-back, but Kimura and James will be up so much, oftentimes it'll just be 3.
I'll be relying on team captain Michael Reed and LaGrassa there to hold position in the middle of the park to allow James and Kimura to get up the pitch in the attack. To see if the Nashville Soccer Club can attack with 5, defend with 5. It should be a really exciting lineup for Nashville in this match.
On the other side, Louisville City starting 11. Luke Spencer starts up front. He's got George Davis on one side, familiar. Sean Francis was just signed this past week, and Pat McMahon is a newcomer as well in the back 3.
Well, McMahon is a real strong defender, but Francis should bring some flair up on the left flank. Spencer, though, is a great target forward, gets into the channels really well, and as we saw in the pregame, he has an eye for goal. He was the leading scorer last year.
Gary Smith takes over this Nashville SC expansion side. From 2008 to 2011, he was the Colorado Rapids head coach, took them to an MLS Cup. He retired as a player at 27, but he's had a sterling career as a coach. And as the sun finally begins to shine a bit, his men in yellow are going to look to Gary to bring the right mentality to a team that expects to make the playoffs by year's end before moving on to Major League Soccer next year.
So much experience as a coach. He will be a great leader for this squad and moving forwards for Nashville. And the players will look to him to put that framework together so that they can perform at the top level.
You and I saw this roster from Nashville in the weeks leading up to this game, and how could you not be excited about the group that they bring together? So much USL experience. You look at Louisville, so much experience back. It's really hard to imagine these teams aren't ready for this one.
They're definitely going to be ready for it. Coach O'Connor for Louisville was really excited. The attitude that his players came back with, you could think that their morale would be high, but maybe take the off-season off a little bit and not come back fit and ready to go, but he loved their attitude, and I think that we'll see that this afternoon.
Robin Troop played for Gary Smith previously at Stevenage. We're underway. Nashville, welcome to the USL. Louisville, welcome to the title defense. The reigning champions taking on an expansion side, Nashville SC. And George Davis trying to drive through in the early going. This portion of today's game brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Will be a little bit frenetic to start off with. Both teams excited, the adrenaline flowing freely.
Ball over the top for Spencer. And the general, Matt Pickens, will pick this up. If you enjoy good Twitter accounts and good beards too, there's General Andrew Luck and then there's General Pickens that are worth your time. Just throwing it out there.
I'm new to Twitter, so I got to find all this out. But I think there should be some award for best beards in the USL. We saw some really good ones last year.
Cody Lorendi had a great one for Oklahoma City. He got injured, and C.J. Cochran, the backup, stepped in, and he played really well, but you just can't match the facial growth.
No, you got to have that beard in goal, it seems, in the USL.
It's a free kick for the men in yellow. Justin Davis, who last played with Minnesota United last year, played in 8 MLS matches. Really impressed in preseason for Gary Smith. Set to put this back in play on what is a short field, and a field that admittedly looks like it's coming in off the offseason just a little bit. All over the top. Headed outside the 18. Knocked ahead by Kosuke Kimura. Kimura lobbing. That's the newly numeraled Paco Craig. He's in 5 this year, switching from his familiar 18. And now Pat McMahon, who brings his man bun south from Cincinnati.
Poor passes there from Jimenez on that right flank. Unusual to see that from him. Normally so good on the ball.
Through for Spencer. And Pickens lobs away.
Pickens isn't going to want too many of those back passes. That ball bobbled on the surface as it went back towards him from his defender.
Liam Doyle, who's starting at center back for Nashville, did admit that the field might be the biggest challenge for Nashville, knowing that Louisville is so comfortable on this field surface. Jimenez. Now McCabe reversing. And Sean Francis takes over. Knocks it through. Flag is up for offside. Pickens would have made a great save. It won't count for McCabe either. Not a good look over the top here from Francis.
There's been 2 or 3 of those chances for Spencer running through the back line. Hasn't been able to time his run perfectly on this occasion. He's just caught in that offside position. Earlier in the opening minute, he had a ball over the top that he didn't get on the end of either. That one just bounced into the hands of the goalkeeper Pickens, but Spencer appreciating the effort from the back line and the ball's coming through. But it's something that Nashville have to watch out for, the timing of those runs from Spencer.
Francis up the line. Davis, not a great first touch. LaGrassa. And here's Liam Doyle, his 3rd USL team in the last 3 years, coming over from Swope Park Rangers, where he played here in the USL Cup final last year. Falling on a late goal to Cameron Lancaster, who starts on the bench for Louisville.
Lancaster had such a strange season last year. It's almost like every time he stepped on the pitch, he scored a goal, but had to deal with injury time and again throughout the season.
Hamstring just 3 games in, and then a broken toe late in the year that he had to try and battle through, and Luke Spencer played so well. Spencer holding up play. Davis knocks it back. Turned over. Lebo Maloto. Other of those Swope Park Rangers signings. Little space here from Maloto to attack. Run down by Del Piccolo, the USL Cup final MVP last year. For Davis. That stayed in. Smith knocked ahead. Long run for Spencer. And Pickens will grab this. Played in Colorado and MLS the last 4 years for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. He had a weird year last year. Kira Fitzgerald played so well in his absence. Didn't allow a goal for a long stretch of games, and ultimately Pickens would find his way back into the order, just shy of the mid-season mark. McCabe. McMahon. Back pass turned over. Cox. Out by Jimenez. Shove from Del Piccolo. And a foul whistle by Ismir Pekmik.
See whether Louisville can defend this free kick better than they did the first set piece that they faced in the early going. A little bit fortunate the ball wasn't served deeper because the defenders were all ball watching, and Nashville had 2 or 3 players open at the far post.
Davis lines into the area. Ball headed, cleared by McMahon. Ranjetsingh was in the area, but this is whistle dead. How about Ranjetsingh? A little bit of a haircut over the offseason, too. Was on the bench last year when Trinidad and Tobago eliminated the United States from the World Cup. I asked him how long he stayed after that match. He said, I got a police escort out of the stadium as soon as the match ended. I had to get back to Louisville.
Great goalkeeping situation here in Louisville.
So much so Micah Bledsoe has switched sides in this rivalry over to Nashville over the offseason to be the third man there. All played through. Pickens will grab this. I'm not sure there are two teams in USL who have better 1 and 2 goalkeepers in the league right now. Ranjitsingh and Dobrovolsky on one side, Cochran and Pickens on the other.
Yeah, it definitely is a good pairing for both squads. Dobrovolsky stepped in net, played really well. Ranjitsingh had that little dip in form in the middle of the season last year, but because of that competition with his partner in crime, Dobrovolsky, he had to step it back up again, and the way he played in postseason was a huge part of why Louisville City was so successful.
Well, a free kick for Oscar Jimenez, who's so very dangerous in these positions.
I'll take these either side of the pitch. Well, Francis is coming over, more of a natural left-footed player perhaps. Swing this in towards the back post of Pickens.
Spencer and Craig are great options on these set pieces, 5 and 12 in purple. Francis drives, headed, Spencer, save, Pickens. The follow, Craig slides in, ball still loose. Spencer, that's knocked out for a corner. Big save from Matt Pickens for Nashville.
Pure reaction on that save. The ball was driven into the near post area. Spencer delivers a great header on target. Pickens got his hands up, parried it away from net, but gives up the corner kick on the rebound.
McCabe closing in. Francis, a little bit of jostling here. Ralph's mob down in Tampa absolutely adored Matt Pickens, and for good reason. Francis in swinger. Got over Spencer. Jimenez, the follow-up ball. Now a third ball over the top. Not at back end. Pickens takes over.
A little relief to get that one back on his feet there. Pickens, there was some pressure faced by Nashville. Two good deliveries from the set pieces from Francis, the newcomer.
Ball knocked away from Schrute. Doyle. On it again. A heady move. Launched forward by Craig. Well, Pickens is unique with this Nashville roster. Donovan Ricketts had a similar situation last year with Tulsa, where he was with Kosuke Kimura, who's on the ball now for Nashville. Played as both an assistant coach and a player for the team. This is Francis. Did that deflect? Yeah, it's a corner for Louisville City. How about this from Pickens?
Well, the delivery on the ball was fantastic into the near post area. Spencer, just the flick of the head to put it on target. Pickens, the footwork was tremendous. He looked as though he was going out to collect the ball, retreats to his goal line, sets himself and makes the parrying save. Really well done by the goalkeeper. So Jimenez will take this one from the right flank on the corner kick.
At the USL last year in chances created because of how good he was on these set pieces. Francis serves with that line drive short. Gary Smith using his hands.
He doesn't want to scuff up his dress shoes there. It's very nice and dapper in his suit.
You know, Phil Neville just took over for the Lionesses of the English women's national team. And he said, I'm a suit man. It's all about first impressions. And yeah, I would say that's a dapper look from Gary Smith.
It's okay on a nice spring day, but the heat of summer comes, he might be wanting to go with shorts and a t-shirt.
Ranjitsingh will pick this up with Michael Cox on the doorstep. Craig, McCabe, Smith. The new Select match ball at his feet. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. LaGrassa knocks it ahead. And that's a clear foul against Craig, who last year was a Defender of the Year finalist.
A little high on his challenge there was Craig. Anticipated well from the Nashville player, expecting the challenge and the pressure.
Passing Davis. Maloto. This ricochets down in the 18. Dangerous there for Schrute. Couldn't find it. And the outlet for Davis, too strong.
Maloto scored some really spectacular goals in his time. Went for the special one there. Scuffed his shot, but it almost created a great opportunity for his teammate Schrute. Tosh, though, in the back line was calm of head. Clearance, though, from Craig was not up to his normal standards.
Maloto and Francis, who both went to Lindsey Wilson College in NAIA. Different times. Look at this streaking run from Jimenez. Pinballs around. Comes to Matt LaGrassa. Nearing the quarter hour mark in Louisville, Kentucky. Last year, some 12,000 fans packed in here for the USL Cup final. Louisville knocking off Swope Park Rangers. Nashville already has sold 15,000 plus tickets to Nissan Stadium's opener. They'll play at First Tennessee Park this year before moving on to Major League Soccer, but also a couple hundred tickets away from the USL's season ticket mark for an inaugural season. A ton of excitement in Music City, and why not? You can already tell what a great town it is for sports. You saw the Predators make their way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and what an incredible atmosphere it was for that. Some of the players have mentioned just how cool that was as they entered into the league. Francis. Bounces away from Davis. This portion of today's broadcast is brought to you by Republic Bank.
It's fun to watch the communication from the players. Craig there with a beautiful headed ball onto his teammate Smith, and then asking Smith to switch the point of attack, but wasn't able to do so, and then a flick of the hand and waved him off was Craig. Louisville keep looking for that long ball through or over the top of the back line of Nashville. Almost connected a couple of times with Spencer, but haven't found that killer pass as yet.
Del Piccolo. Davis. James. Doyle under pressure. There's James O'Connor, gesturing to the fourth official, trying to keep the ball for his side. The fourth-year manager, played with Orlando City, and when that franchise moved to Major League Soccer, Cox stepping in on Ranjit Singh, forcing a throw. O'Connor made the move on to Louisville and is extended through 2020 when Louisville's new soccer-specific stadium is scheduled to open in the Butchertown neighborhood, less than a mile away from Slugger Field. Doyle.
so exciting for these clubs in the USL. So many soccer-specific stadiums coming on board. So great facilities around the league for these players to enjoy and play in and entertain the fans. And obviously you've got a great stadium and the fans are going to enjoy it too.
Rio Grande Valley played host to a CONCACAF Champions League game a couple weeks ago in February at their new soccer-specific stadium that's in year number 2. Throw for Kimura. Off of Davis. It's another throw for the 33-year-old native of Japan. Was with Gary Smith in Atlanta back in 2015. He describes Kimura's perpetual motion, that right wing back spot.
It's important to have that fitness to be able to get up and down the park as Kimura has. Interesting here to see LaGrassa and Schrute both off of the pitch in offside positions on the throw-in.
Kimura made that dangerous for Ranjitsingh. It hung up there. And then Michael Cox was nearby.
The goalkeeper did well with that, judging the flight of the ball. Obviously, you can't be offside on a throw-in. That's why those players are standing in that position, but it makes life difficult for the defenders because the run's coming from their blind side.
McCabe got knocked down by Michael Reed, the captain for this side, who they transferred in, a purchase from San Antonio.
Risky pass there from Tosh.
You and I are looking at each other going, ooh.
We're already seeing Cox almost intercept a pass from Ranjitsingh. Wasn't able to keep it in bounds and went out for a throw-in, but Tosh on that occasion got away with it, living dangerously. I'm sure his coach will be thanking him for it. The heart rate was pounding a little bit increased there.
Sean Reynolds made his debut for St. Louis against RGV last night in the USL season opening game. He's out defensively. Sean Francis comes back in. Obviously Craig and Tosh and Smith and Jimenez all return. And Alexis Sawahi has entered the equation as well. Defender from France who played for Bowling Green. Is available on the bench as a defender. Tarek Morad moved on as well, one of the Louisville originals. Scored 2 goals against Bethlehem in their first-round playoff game last year. Francis. McCabe. Well, it's a good run here for Niall McCabe. Spencer, away from LaGrassa, a good step by Reed. Maloto. London Woodbury knocks it along. Well, it really has played out as 3-back versus 3-back, hasn't it?
It has. A lot of congestion in the midfield, not clean possession. I think that's why you've seen both teams go long a little bit, particularly Louisville City trying to find Spencer on those balls over the top to test the back line of Nashville. Certainly Louisville City have had the better run of play getting into the attacking third. We haven't seen anything from Nashville as yet. It's really threatened Ranjitsingh's goal.
Shove at the back of Maloto, LaGrassa. Ibo Maloto now, Cox. Knocked off by Tosh. Attack still on here through Kimura. And back for Woodbury, part of that extraordinarily experienced back line for Nashville, their debut season. Reed. Kimura. Moloto.
Some good sustained possession there from Nashville, but Louisville did a good job of getting behind the ball and closing down the passing angles as the Nashville team are trying to get into their attacking third. In the end, just gives up possession cheaply with the clearance from Pickens.
Tosh. Davis. James. The turn for Cox. Ball across, sliding down James. Clearance drawing applause from this partisan Louisville crowd. The switch is on for Kimura. A give and go. Kimura sends the service, headed James over the bar.
He didn't lose his footing there, did James? Put that one over the crossbar. Couldn't get over the top of the ball, but a lovely service into the back post.
So Ranjit Singh will put this in play. Real fiery start in midfield between Louisville and Nashville. Both sides jockeying for position in the season opener in 2018. That's a foul, and Moloto does well to help up Paolo Del Piccolo.
It's nice to see some sportsmanship. There's talk of the physical rivalry that would be between these two teams.
Spencer, nice downshift for Davis. Spencer arrives again. Francis widening out. Deflects Francis, driving in. Shoots at the near post, and Pickens does well on the shot that swirled in toward him.
Nashville had 7 players in the box. There wasn't any purple shirts in there for Francis to aim at on the initial cross. Spencer was the player that would have been the target, but he had delivered the pass out to the left flank. And then Francis just didn't get any purchase on the shot. Very easy to the near post area of Pickens.
Dead by Justin Davis. James, who's really cemented himself into the starting order, and Jetsing will collect.
Confidence there from Tosh that his goalkeeper was coming. Again, Cox was lurking. Communication might need to be a little bit better from the center back from Louisville City and the goalkeeper. Living dangerously, they are.
Spencer, leading scorer for Louisville last year, really struggled to find time at Cincinnati 2 years ago. McCabe pinged back to him. McCabe over the top. Kimura, the clearance. Big collision in midfield. And now McCabe whistled for the foul.
Yeah, just can't turn your back as you go in for the challenge there. It was an easy call for the referee. Neither team finding a way to switch the point of attack with any consistency. And so being, they're not stretching out that line of the back, not opening up any channels to exploit.
Here's Woodbury. Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players and USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch. Written and video content provides unfiltered access, a first-person look into the professional game, the everyday lives of USL players. Forrest Lasso went from Charleston Battery over to FC Cincinnati, was featured most recently. Check that out over at USLsoccer.com. Lifted ahead for the man out of the University of Louisville, Del Piccolo. Turn by McCabe. Is there a bit of space here for Nashville to get ahead? Reed. Shut down by Smith. Davis. Powering forward. Stuck in by James.
See Davis the fourth, he's looking up to see whether the support run was coming from Jimenez. But it wasn't there. James, I think, was defending well on the outside, taking away the space that Jimenez would have run into.
McCabe fouled from behind by London Woodbury. Woodbury, 26 years old still. It's remarkable. He's played 3 years in New England. Questionable with hip soreness coming in, but he's still in the prime of his career. He's an MLS defender, and he wants to be a part of this Nashville soccer club. You could say the same about Sean Francis, 21 in purple at the bottom of your screen for Louisville.
Two really good players. Woodbury is impressed, but that was a real physical challenge. You can see the attitude of the player. That's what you want as a coach.
Jimenez. Spencer tried to steer that further. Davis. Ricochets to Craig. Tosh. And a whistle there on the far touchline. And another free kick here for Louisville City nearing the half-hour mark.
Some frustration there from Davis. Free kick taken quickly, but the referee doesn't like it. Mr. Pecknick calls it back. Davis thinking he was a little unlucky there, just clipping the ankle of the Lou City player.
Jimenez is like, the ball was set. What more do you want from me? So that's clean play. Maggie Short and Kevin Locker, the ARs tonight. Brandon Artis is the fourth official. It's the opening day for them too, let's not forget. Service coming for Francis. The near post. Knocked out by Davis. This portion of today's game brought to you by Sullivan University. Features Nashville, their opening contest. It comes just about 300 days after their head coach was announced. About a year's time waiting for this. And the Louisville side that's been waiting since November to try and win their second consecutive USL Cup, but more importantly, go back to a fourth consecutive Eastern Conference final. Such a sustained success from the outset. Davis.
It was so impressive to be able to do that year on year, and the other thing that was impressive is how consistent they were through the season. The Eastern Conference was very competitive last year, but towards the latter part of the season, Louisville just were able to separate themselves from the pack and really good down the stretch.
They weren't in first until about August. It was Charleston, and then Charlotte took over in midseason, and Louisville took it and ran with it down the stretch. They lost just one game in their final 13, 8-1-4. Del Piccolo, Spencer, swarmed quickly by Woodbury. James. Dispossessed. Excellent slide. Moloto ahead. Kimura. Kimura knocks it through. And Craig back out to the halfway line. Spencer on the run. Can get by Woodbury. Kimura. Moloto. Kimura again. Kimura, space now. Serves across, chipped off of Francis. Reed. Good sustained possession here from Nashville. 3 purple jerseys converge. Take it away from Maloto. Play Luke Spencer long. Ian Doyle does well to find Pickens.
A little surprised that Lou City keep going with that long ball, trying to find Spencer over the top. There's not a lot of room behind that back line, and Pickens has done a great job getting to the top of his box to collect the ball. Goalkeeper of his experience is a pretty easy read, though.
Have you got what it takes to beat the experts on USLsoccer.com? Show off your knowledge of the league, pick the right results of the USL's matches each week of the season. One of those experts is Nicholas Murray. We spoke about who had the best beard last year. They did have a vote for that. So that's something to go track down. Pickens, of course, was part of that discussion, to be sure. Doyle.
Been impressed with both teams, Mike. They're getting a lot of players around the ball defensively. Something that you focus on at the early part of preseason is the defensive shape of your team.
Big collision. Shot from Maloto is out of play. Into a mixture of purple and St. Patrick's Day green.
Not really team colors, but celebrating the day.
You know, Louisville's going to have on the 14th of April against the Richmond Kickers a blackout game, which went over really well last year with those black with purple accent jerseys.
A sharp-looking uniform.
Seriously.
It's always fun when you see the stadium and the fans, if they're all dressed the same, and it creates a really good atmosphere. Great confidence there from Francis, and skill. Not to mention the athleticism as well, to back up and then calmly head the ball to his goalkeeper. Beautifully done.
Craig. Kamara runs it down. Schrute intercepted by McCabe. McMahon lofted too high. The flag was up regardless.
Teams just continue to struggle to find that ball that will open things up, entering into their attacking third.
Poked away by Francis, and Louisville trying to get forward here in the 37th minute. Nashville team that played 7 preseason fixtures. They fell in their opener to Atlanta in a monsoon in front of 9,000 fans plus at First Tennessee Park. Gone 6 unbeaten since. Slide by Craig through the legs of Cox and knocking the ball out.
First time Cox has really got any width. Opened things up. I was a little surprised that the referee didn't blow for a foul. Davis IV had gone down under a heavy challenge. The referee was playing advantage, but decided that it wasn't really a foul in the first place.
The title-winning coach, James O'Connor, pointing out his team really didn't focus on tactics at all the first 2 weeks in Florida. It was all about getting fit. They've worked on it since. First set piece they'll defend from Nashville. Headed by Craig. It's a throw here for Nashville at a convenient spot. James is able to get a long throw here.
I like the service on the corner kick, delivered along the line of the 6 with pace. The runners just weren't there for Nashville, though, to threaten the net of Ranjitsingh.
Kicked away from James, who maybe wasn't a starter for Gary Smith at the outset of camp, but he has impressed so much. He was a leading minute getter for the Rochester Rhinos last year. With the Rhinos not playing this season, there was a frenzy to try and pick up all those pieces, and James, I think, is a guy who Nashville is going to come to really love this year.
The Rhinos, they didn't score a whole lot of goals, but defensively they were fantastic.
McMahon played for the Rhinos in their 2015 USL Cup campaign alongside Sean Tosh. Then Bob Lilly went to the Pittsburgh. Tyler Terrence and other commentators calling them the River Rhinos this year, the Riverhounds in Pittsburgh. It's like a best of album over there in Pittsburgh, that roster. Oh, Woodbury is going to be unlucky here to concede the foul as he and Davis went after the ball. Davis tried to round him.
I think Woodbury's a little hard done by there. Goes in to win the ball. Probably because he turned his back, he gets called for the foul. Davis IV trying to jump over the outstretched leg of the defender. Despairingly, Woodbury indicates to the referee, look, I got the ball, it's right here at my foot.
Right. Well, is there any place you want Oscar Jimenez more? If your opposition, is there any person you'd rather see less than Jimenez here? Jimenez, an in-swinger, Spencer wide. Such a familiar combination for Louisville City fans. Spencer scored 11 times last year.
Well, the service wasn't the best from the initial kick, but there was a lot of spin on that ball, and the power of the athleticism of Spencer turning that ball and threatening the goal of Pickens. Pickens wasn't sure that was going to miss his upright. Spencer leapt highest and just flicked his head towards the goal. Almost turned it on frame. The initial free kick looked very innocuous from our angle. There was just enough spin on the ball, and Spencer coming back to meet the ball with his head did tremendously well.
Nashville players up and about shortly before halftime. 23 players in total on the roster, hailing from 10 different countries. Largely healthy exiting the preseason. Both teams can say that, and that's a happy fact for both managers. Spencer in unfamiliar territory in the defensive half. Reed flicks on. Cox in pursuit. Craig, one-handed by Ranjitsingh. The USL's official Twitter feed is back for the new season. It keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7, 365. Follow @USL on Twitter. Pickens tried to punch that away. A bit of miscommunication between him and Justin Davis. It's a corner to Louisville.
Moment of alarm there in the back for Nashville. Jimenez with the pressure. He's never going to get on the end of that ball.
It's another Lou City corner kick.
In the end, Davis did really well with it. See some really good serves from this man, number 21, Francis, with his left peg. And some set pieces today. Let's see if he can finish off the first half with another good one.
The Jamaican international in his Louisville City debut. Francis goes short. Now a chance to serve. Woodbury the header. Davis back to defend. The Jets from Maloto on a clear tug. Could easily be a yellow card.
Well, it looked like Mr. Pecknick was going to go to his upper pocket there and pull out a card, but he didn't. It's actually a really good foul from George Davis IV to slow down the counterattack. Lovely change of pace, hesitation from Melodo as he collected the ball. Wrong-footed the Lou City player, and Melodo, had he not had his shorts tucked, would have been entering into the attacking third for his team.
Davis played for Lee Cowlishaw at Richmond and then went on to Orlando City B and ended up coming on James O'Connor's side, former teammates. Davis, 30 years old and showing that maturity. Davis trying to play James. Touches into the area, contact, Smith took it away. Rare chance to get forward on the break for Louisville. It's a foul. This will run all the way out as we just a couple minutes to halftime. USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from across the league. News, highlights, and interactive features like the USL on Facebook to get the league's best content delivered right to you. Quick moving first half here, Matt. Not too many fouls, no subs, no goals.
It's been a pretty fluid first 45 minutes. Competitive. Not a whole lot of goal scoring opportunities. Lou City had that one or two really good headed chances from Spencer. And they got the really nice save from Matt Pickens. For the most part, it's been a game contested in a congested mid part of the field.
Always tough, those congested tests. There is the halftime whistle. If you're Nashville, what do you make of your inaugural opening half?
I think you're pretty much satisfied if Coach Smith going to the locker room at halftime. Defensively, his team has been pretty good job defensively, but offensively, they need to find something in the locker room to come out in the second 45 minutes.
If you're Louisville, happy?
Happy, you've created some chances, negated the opportunities for your opposition, but you've done a good job so far in the first half.
Louisville City starting a 3-game homestand to open the season, but they don't find the opening goal yet. We've reached halftime. Louisville City, Nashville scoreless.
Waiting for spring?
Yes!
Be ready for all the season has to offer with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on any adventurous new 2018 RAV4. Or lease this well-equipped RAV4 LE for just $199 a month, now through April 2nd.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Good tequila, for those of really enjoy it.
Have a great business concept or invention but don't know how to turn it into something tangible? The U of L MBA program can teach you the business skills needed to turn a great idea into a great business. You'll be taught by faculty who are also serial entrepreneurs and investors and will gain great connections in the entrepreneurial community. If you're serious about taking your idea to the next level, visit uoflmba.com to learn more. Bring your business vision to life with an entrepreneurship MBA from the University of Louisville.
The spring sales event is on now at Kentuckiana's #1 Commonwealth Dodge Ram. A 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 pickup discounted over $10,000, now just $31,800, or lease for just $249 a month. An 18 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT discounted over $9,000 to just $25,500, or lease for $269 a month. And an 18 Dodge Journey, now just $16,990.
Coach Scott Davenport here for my good friends at Commonwealth Dodge Ram. Right on Preston and always right on the price.
I got my true start in the culinary arts when I joined the British Army and learned from really, really brilliant chefs. One of the highlights for me was making Princess Anne's wedding cake. I've traveled, I've won numerous awards and competitions, but education is where my heart is. I want each student at Sullivan to receive the mentorship that I received during my training. We are dedicated to educating the next generation of chefs.
There it is, the new banner for Louisville City. They've raised the championship flag here at halftime to commemorate the 2017 USL Cup. When did they get the bell? Did I miss that?
That's pretty snazzy. I like that.
Yeah. It's halftime here in Nashville, trying to knock Louisville off that opening day pedestal, that opening feeling. And Nashville, an expansion team. The things that really make these teams familiar: Preki for Sacramento, O'Connor for Louisville City, Harks at Cincinnati, Ian Russell at Reno. They all played or coached at a very high level entering. They all have very experienced rosters. Nashville has both those things too.
Well, that's a good recipe for success moving forwards, and those four teams have been tremendous in their short histories, and it'll be interesting to see how these new teams in the USL can go forwards as we enter into this 2018 season.
All finishing in the upper half of the divisions when they entered. And for Nashville, it was announced on the 19th of May 2016 that they'd be entering USL. They had a PDL team last year. Gary Smith entered the equation on April 12th of last year. John Ingram entered the ownership group for a club that was started by the supporters back on the 4th of March in 2017. And then in December, the 24th MLS expansion team was announced to Nashville, and this Nashville SC fan base could not be more excited.
Well, certainly they've got to be excited. It's a shame that they won't be in the USL for very long, but great that they'll be going to the MLS as well. But I mean, it's also a great thing for the USL that this league is so successful to have these type of teams.
And surely Jake Edwards, the USL president, has to be pretty happy with that. A 4-part interview. We'll air part of it for you here when we come back. The State of the League after this.
Hi, we're being joined today by Jake Edwards, president of the USL. Just getting ready to kick off an exciting 2018 season. Jake, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great, my pleasure.
Jake, it's been another exciting off-season for the USL, and buzz is really picking up as we're getting ready to kick off here. Talk to us about what you're looking forward to the most in 2018 and where the USL is positioning itself in the American soccer landscape.
Yeah, we've worked hard this off-season and the last few years now to create a really great league, but an aspirational league. We look at the leagues around the world and we say we would like to be in the company of some of those top leagues. We're now the second division in the US. We've worked hard to achieve that, and we aspire to be one of the top second divisions in the world. And there's some phenomenal leagues out there to aspire to that we can learn from. But things are going great. It's been a busy off-season. We've got some new teams coming on board, some great new owners coming in the league, phenomenal new players coming in the league. And it's going to be by far and away the toughest and most competitive season, but certainly it's the biggest season we've had yet. More games, more teams. We reach more communities, more fans than ever before. So this is another big year for us.
Well, the league this year certainly continues to grow, and we're welcoming 6 new teams to the USL in 2018. What are you looking forward to the most during this kickoff weekend of these teams coming in and the quality of soccer we're going to see across the league?
Yeah, 6 very exciting teams, 2 teams that are already established clubs in Indy 11 and North Carolina. You know, great pedigree, great fan bases, exciting soccer-specific stadiums, and you know, Atlanta United, the lone team out of MLS coming in this season. Atlanta United breaking all kinds of records as an organization in MLS, doing great things for the sport. Fully anticipate the same for Atlanta United too. And then, of course, our new markets, Nashville and Las Vegas, Fresno. You know, really exciting new additions to our league, and have done tremendously well in preseason games so far, well attended. So very much looking to see how those teams and those new fan bases mix in with all the other teams we have in our league.
The whole presidential preview over on YouTube. It's all green and purple for Louisville City fans, and some Kentucky fans will certainly be following March Madness later on tonight after this one. This stadium was packed in November when Louisville City played host to Swope Park Rangers, one of the biggest professional sporting events in Louisville City's history. They knocked off Swope Park Rangers. It was the culmination of a fantastic title-winning 2017 USL season. Swope Park trying to change their narrative. The first back-to-back conference champion USL Cup finalist taking on Louisville City off of Ownby. Musa back into the attacking third. Rivera. Long distance try pulled in by Ranjetsing. It's Nansel Selbel who scored 9 this year. Intercepted by Williams. Ownby ahead. George Davis cutting it across. Out to Jimenez! Duke slid this away. Maloto. Ball shot toward the net. It's held by Ranjetsing. Spencer trying to get in behind, creating some space, and Dejas claims the service.
And it's that little dipping ball. Spencer giving Deej a little taste of his own medicine that it was to shoot or to cross the ball instead of shoot. Was suspect at times.
Here we go in the second half. Scoreless from Louisville, Kentucky, Louis City. Ownby unleashed. Ownby service clipped over.
Just a nice little clip of possession. Look at that little drop ball that Ownby hits it one time, right decision, otherwise going over Belmar and causing a PK.
All for Ownby. Hands it towards Spencer. Falls in the area launched. Back to the halfway line. Turned over to Hernandez, who spun away. Shot is on, caught by Ranjetsing. Lebo Maloto. Williams for Lancaster. He scores! Puts Louisville in front in the final minutes.
Off the throw, and Williams with his head up sends a bending ball. And Lancaster beats Cheetich in the air. Zindejas off his line.
For Swope Park, this is it. It's short. Full time. Theirs is the cup. Finally. Louisville City 1, Swope Park 0. They are the USL Cup champions.
Goodbye sweater, goodbye hat, goodbye scarf, goodbye cap, goodbye to these things, and hello to spring. Hello trees, hello sun, hello fresh air, hello fun. The end. This spring, get a great deal on a new Toyota.
Get 0.9% financing on the aggressively sophisticated 2018 Highlander. Or get a great low lease on this Highlander for just $299 a month. Now through April 2nd.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
You know, I was excited to partner up with Baptist to do a training facility in Louisville.
We hired the right people to get the job done.
You can come here and hop into a group training, or if you want one-on-one training, we can focus on that.
It's kids that want to develop and get some confidence to adults who are looking to join a class.
It caters to whatever you want to accomplish. Live, enjoy life, and just be healthy.
Have a great business concept or invention but don't know how to turn it into something tangible? The U of L MBA program can teach you the business skills needed to turn a great idea into a great business. You'll be taught by faculty who are also serial entrepreneurs and investors and will gain great connections in the entrepreneurial community. If you're serious about taking your idea to the next level, visit uoflmba.com to learn more. Bring your business vision to life with an entrepreneurship MBA from the University of Louisville.
The spring sales event is on now at Kentuckiana's #1 Commonwealth Dodge Ram. A 2018 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4 pickup discounted over $10,000, now just $31,800, or lease for just $249 a month. An 18 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT discounted over $9,000 to just $25,500, or lease for $269 a month. And an 18 Dodge Journey now just $16,990.
Coach Scott Davenport here for my good friends at Commonwealth Dodge Ram. Right on Preston and always right on the price.
I got my true start in the culinary arts when I joined the British Army and learned from really, really brilliant chefs. One of the highlights for me was making Princess Anne's wedding cake. I've traveled, I've won numerous awards and competitions, but education is where my heart is. I want each student at Sullivan to receive the mentorship that I received during my training. We are dedicated to educating the next generation of chefs.
Players arriving again into the Louisville sunshine, scoreless in this new rivalry, first ever meeting between Nashville Soccer Club, their inaugural USL game, and Louisville City. Matt Stubbington alongside Mike Watts, first half highlights, and how about Pickens? This would be offside, but it set a tone.
Well, experienced goalkeeper, just going to play to the whistle, makes a nice save, makes an even better one there. Lovely ball played in, flicked header from Spencer, great reaction from Pickens.
Ranjitsingh had to be aggressive because Michael Cox and his comrades are very tough customers up front. There's Francis trying to get inside. It's an easy save in the end.
Good positioning from the goalkeeper, down quickly, getting his body behind the ball was Pickens. Cox was creating some havoc up in the back line of Lou City, causing some issues, and this was a great opportunity again. This one for Spencer off of the free kick from Jimenez, just past the upright of Pickens, and some confusion at the back line between goalkeeper and left fullback Davis, but in the end it goes out for a corner kick that Lou City couldn't do anything with.
And now for the scores from around the USL with our Commonwealth Credit Union Roundup. Down 1-0 in the 11th minute. The Eastern Conference finalists New York Red Bulls 2 get a brace from Andrew Teneri, 72nd go-ahead goal. And Evan Loro stopped the penalty. Anthony Cavaluzzo making the big stops necessary. But it finishes 2-1 there. Underway in the second half. Let's take a look at VisionWorks, what to look for as we head into this second half of play. Matt?
I'd like to see Lou City find Spencer to feet more. They've tried to find him into space. It hasn't really been working. If they can find him into feet, then he can distribute the ball to the midfielders coming up to support them. And then Nashville, they just got to find some width up the park. They've tried to find Kamira down the right. They haven't been really successful down the left. Get some balance in the attack outside and maybe stretch Lou City out a little bit in the back line. I'd love to see both teams find a way to switch the point of attack, but because they got so many players in the midfield, it's been tough to do that in the first half.
This portion of today's broadcast brought to you by Plainview Apartments. As Louisville in the purple move left to right, it's a combination of royal colors, Nashville in the gold. Comes out to Del Piccolo with the captain's armband. Will not take on a fellow Louisville player. As a Michael DeGraff in right. Third-round pick by NYCFC, did not make the 18. Played at Louisville as well. Both teams sticking with their initial 11 to start the second half of play. Papa Mensah, who scored the first goal in Nashville history, is available off the bench. Played really well last year for Harrisburg, the newly minted Penn FC. And for Louisville, they've got a couple silver bullets on their bench. Ballard, Illich, Lancaster, Rasmussen, who scored the first goal in Lou City history.
It's not a huge roster for Lou City, but it's a deep one.
Here's McMahon. Kimura. James. Try and get on the other end of this, and does. Gets by Jimenez in the process.
Good
Cox fouled.
Good refereeing there from Mr. Picknick. Jimenez was beaten for speed from James. Held the player from Nashville. Referee looking to see where their advantage was going to come, but it didn't. Pulls play back for the free kick to Nashville.
James. LaGrassa. James played through by Davis. As far as LaGrassa. The feet of Maloto. Maloto drives! Save, Ranjetsing. First time he's really been called upon, and a dipping shot made it a bit difficult.
Not much power on the shot, but it was difficult for the goalkeeper. He gets behind it, reacts well to the shot. Good technique from the goalkeeper. That all developed from the speed of James on this left flank, number 7 for Nashville, just getting into the back line of Louisville City, causing some issues.
McMahon. Foot race here for McCabe. And a goal kick for Matt Pickens and Nashville SC.
Lovely little flick of the ball with his right boot to open up the shooting space for himself was Maloto. Pulled the trigger with the left. Didn't quite get enough purchase on the ball to trouble the goalkeeper. Lovely individual skill from number 10 for Nashville, Maloto.
Looking down because he was 42 at Swole Park last year, and new year, new me, new number. Francis drives it ahead for Davis! That's cleared. Oh, Davis didn't even get a touch to it. That's great recovery defense from Justin Davis.
You see the defender, the puff of the cheeks, the sigh of relief. Fantastic effort defensively from number 2 for Nashville to put that one out for a corner kick. Beautiful ball in from Louisville City.
Francis applauds his new fan base. So far, so good. Here in Chicago, 3 in San Jose, a couple in Columbus, last year in Montreal for half the season. Francis. Howard back toward midfield. The McCabe on the other end. Jimenez. Knock back to Francis. Spencer. Francis from distance. Rung it wide. Pickens seemed to know all the while that that wasn't going to make it in his goal.
Well, the left foot continues to impress from Francis. It's been on the set pieces. This one on the shot. Just drags his foot across the top of the ball. Puts it wide of the right-hand upright as we look at the goal. Goalkeeper was struggling. I'm not sure he was as confident as it might have looked that that was going wide.
George Davis. Trailer, Del Piccolo. Overrun by Moloto, but wide now for Francis. Francis enters the area. Contact from Kimura. Go all the way to the byline. It's a goal kick. How about Kimura and Pickens dapping up there? Both won the MLS Cup in 2010 for the Colorado Rapids under coach Gary Smith.
The goalkeeper was very appreciative of the effort there from Kimura, the right fullback. Did a tremendous job getting goal sides. Francis had a head of steam going into the attacking third. It's interesting, Pickens coming over to the left side of his 6-yard box to take the goal kicks. Doesn't want to have any dealings with that artificial surface there on the right side.
Francis was held up. Opening day for these teams. Louisville starting 3 straight at home. Nashville is on their road to Nissan. They're at Nashville's NFL Stadium next week to open up their campaign. 15,000 plus tickets already out the door. They expect a nice big walk up, and they say they aren't necessarily aiming for any specific number, but this is Del Piccolo falling down. James gives Jimenez a chance. He rung it well wide.
Well, the angle was acute. He's going away from goal. Shooting probably wasn't the best option there from Jimenez. There were some purple shirts in the box for him to aim at.
Just in the last hour or so, Mark Anthony Kay tweeting good luck to Louisville City. They try and defend the USL Cup that he helped bring to Louisville last year. Players have been watching him with LAFC at the outset. Him and Bob Bradley and the gang have had a really impressive start.
Sounds like the players from Louisville City are very proud of what Mark Anthony has achieved, making it to the next level.
Through ball. Found its target. McCabe. Francis. Is Davis going to have a go at this? Spencer. Davis! Cutting. Down went James. He was able to knock it away, and Woodbury plays it out.
James has slipped a couple of times on that surface inside the penalty area. This time he went down with purpose. The tackle was timed perfectly.
You think about it, there are times last year, Micah Bledsoe's now the 3rd choice keeper for Nashville. He was 3rd choice keeper for Louisville last year. He was available as a field player for 10, 11 games last year. Players in and out for international duty and injuries on a short roster. Service whipped across, off the head of Spencer, off the post and in! Picking up where he left off, Luke Spencer gives Louisville City their first goal of 2018.
He's a great target up top. He's good with his feet, but he's also good with the head. He had a great chance in the first half, well saved by Pickens. This one, Pickens could do nothing about. Couldn't place the header any better, off of the woodwork and into the back of the net. Beautifully done from Spencer. Lovely service in as well. First goal of the season for Spencer. First goal of the season for Louisville City FC.
Presented by Kentucky Lottery.
And the smoke billows out for a goal presented by the Kentucky Lottery. They fuel imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. 56th minute from Luke Spencer. Now Nashville there to get points on the road. Need to find their offense here in this second half. Now, Luke Spencer from the outset last year dealt with injuries over much of his career, didn't really find his footing in Cincinnati. Found a little bit of confidence early and it billowed out over the rest of the season. Oh, this will find Spencer again. Showing off that footwork. And thrown off the ball by Doyle. That's an excellent challenge from the central defender.
Great tackle in the box from Doyle. Well timed, strong in the challenge. You see Spencer, though, with the little step over moves, trying to wrong foot the defender. Doyle, with his experience, was having none of it. I think back to last year, Lancaster started the season, was doing so well. Spencer was coming off of the bench.
Spencer threw for Davis, and this time the opposing Davis does well to knock that out. And Tosh, overzealous, commits the foul over the back.
Remember Lancaster, he scored a goal, went out almost immediately with a hamstring injury. Spencer came in, played so well, didn't score a goal that game, but for me, he was basically the man of the match.
And that was game 2 last year against Orlando City B, right?
Exactly, and just from that point, he just built on that confidence that he got from that performance and went on and scored, was it 13 goals, something like that for the season, did a tremendous job, and looks like it's continuing into 2018. Somehow, some way, Nashville have to find a way to create some opportunities. It looks like Coach Smith is going to the bench.
Tucker Hume is warming up. He scored against Chattanooga in a preseason friendly, and I'm not sure there's any higher compliment that Gary Smith can provide than he's fleet-footed for a big fellow. Hume, the native of Dallas, Texas. His grandfather was a Dallas Cowboy, and he'll come on. Former PDL product who spent last year with Paul Dalglish in Ottawa. Replaces Robin Schrute, and this is a substitution that's brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Schrute really just didn't have the ball enough to make a big impact today, did he?
No, you see the reaction of the player going to the bench, the frustration, the disappointment from Schrute, as it wasn't his best performance.
Francis, James, Cox couldn't quite hold that up. Man. Off of James, who's impressed in his Nashville debut. And there's McMahon. You know, sometimes you want to know, when did you start thinking about next season, Coach? When did you really begin to solidify plans to defend your title? It was the day after the championship match in Louisville that he met with Pat McMahon and talked him into coming down from Cincinnati.
Certainly there's no rest for these coaches, and Coach O'Connor there knew that he wanted to play and started talking, trying to get things in place for 2018.
You know, with McMahon, I did the 2015 USL Cup final with John Harkes, and John was about to take over then expansion side FC Cincinnati, and he goes, this guy right here, McMahon, I want to get him in Cincinnati. I think he could be a really good player in the system I want to play. Well, his lips to McMahon's ears came right over and had a phenomenal first year under Harkes. Didn't really mesh with Alan Koch's system in year 2. Jimenez does well to bring it down. James, that's cheeky.
Jimenez did well. James did even better. Nashville just aren't able to release the pressure and find their players up top with any consistency.
Maloto. James. Flag is down, despite the appeal from Jimenez. Cross field toward Hume. Shot blocked. And Davis out to the halfway line. And surely these are tight dimensions. Nashville will be playing in a similar kind of dimension this year at First Tennessee Park. Well, surely both fields are going to be in better shape by the time April and May come around. So surely it's got to be a little bit of an impediment here for both teams, in truth. Headed away from Hume, who wanted it at his feet. And away from Davis now. Challenged by Justin Davis. And a quick restart for Paolo Del Piccolo and Louisville City.
The dimensions are tight, as you say, and you have to make the best use of those dimensions. And for me, Nashville just haven't done that going forwards. The width isn't there. They keep going up the middle of the park.
Cox puts it on his right. Lost the handle. Stiff arming Jimenez away. Locked down by McMahon. James. That's a rare touch for Cox in the 18. Reed. LaGrassa. Ricochets into the air. LaGrassa heads it forward. Smith is playing a more central role. Spencer on the run.
Louisville City, they have a little bit more ambition going forwards, and you see the run from Spencer there going diagonal towards the sideline, and the ball's released earlier to him. Perhaps Nashville might take a leaf out of Louisville City's book and try the same thing going forwards. Certainly you have Cox up top that can do the job. Somehow, some way, Nashville have to find a way back into this match, and what they're doing right now offensively just is not working.
McMahon got that over James. Jimenez back. Davis. Davis shoots. Deflected. Looking for a second crack. It'll be a corner for Louisville. James O'Connor and his merry band of friends applaud. Select is the official soccer ball of the United Soccer League. For the latest Select products and special offers, you visit selectsportamerica.com. You can receive free shipping on orders of $50 or more. Francis to take the corner in the 65th. Punched away by Pickens, who got nailed after the ball left the 18. Lifted ball for McCabe. He kept that in. Sends across. Headed over the bar by Paco Craig.
One of those headers that goalkeepers hate. It was a looping ball. Pickens was struggling. Service comes in from McCabe. It's from distance. Craig couldn't put it on target. That's what width can give you. Those cross balls in, Nashville just have struggled to deal with all game long.
Jimenez and James competing over inches right now. Get the feeling those could be two of the best wingbacks in the Eastern Conference this year, the way they're playing at the outset.
Jimenez, we know what he can do. Quality of his services, his ability to get forwards. James certainly has got some talent as well and some speed. I don't think we've seen the best of him going forwards because he's been defending against Jimenez.
Spencer, advantage played through Jimenez. Jimenez tight angle, plays it across, it's in. Niall McCabe. Louisville leads 2-0. The reigning champions playing like it on opening day.
You move the ball quickly, you move the ball wide, you commit the goalkeeper, and you get an easy tap in at the back post. Good movement from McCabe, good movement from Louisville City. Set up from Spencer, finding his teammate Jimenez on the right flank. Jimenez takes a touch, looks up, passes it along the line of the 6, and there's McCabe just to tuck it into the back of the net. Lovely team goal for Louisville City.
The goal presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery. 3 goals in the last 3 preseason matches, and Niall McCabe all of a sudden, whoa, maybe he's the leading scorer of this bunch this year. He's off to a great start, to be sure. Finally healthy. Last year, had a hip injury during the offseason. Has come a long way since then. He spent last offseason here in the States. Trying to get ready for the season a year ago. That off McMahon. A corner here for Nashville to try and respond. You find one and you're right back in this thing.
Absolutely. It's the old adage, 2-goal lead is the most dangerous in soccer.
Justin Davis. Jimenez. And Kimura going the wrong way. And now the break is on for Louisville. It's McCabe again. McCabe was looking for a Davis, and Jimenez went sprawling through the 18 as well.
It was a dangerous counterattack there. McCabe couldn't find his teammate. I think Jimenez just ran into the back of Doyle and went down to the turf.
James O'Connor told us last year he felt like a lot of people underestimated his role on the team, doing all the dirty work, 11 in purple. Francis shoved off the ball. He'll have a second crack at this. Francis, great touch around Kimura. Out by Doyle. Comes down to Reed. Hume in a battle there. Taken by Jimenez. Big slide upfield by Davis. And this time we'll get behind Davis, but he'll control the narrative here. Hear exclusive stories directly from USL's players, USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game, players' everyday lives. Check that out on USLsoccer.com. Of course, the recap of this afternoon's match, the 4th in a 500-plus game USL season. First for these two teams of their 34. Cox. And McMahon was wise to that. Jimenez touching inside. Jimenez through. Flag is down. Back across by Spencer. Very tight window there.
Again, it's the movement of Spencer. He's getting some width from that central position, making life difficult for the Nashville back line. Opening up opportunities. I think he was a little unselfish there. Too unselfish, I should say. Looked to me from our angle, Mike, that he had the opportunity to test Pickens in net. Instead, he tried to pass the ball back square to Jimenez.
Play will revert back here for a Louisville free kick. Michael Reed wearing the captain's armband, making his argument here. They identified him over the offseason, a guy they felt could make a significant impact for them, and best way to go get him, go buy him from San Antonio. They had an amazing unbeaten run to start the season, finished in the top 3 in the Western Conference with a great defense, led by USL Defender of the Year Sebastian Ibiaga, who's since moved on to NYCFC, and Billy Forbes, who's now in Phoenix. Best pieces of San Antonio got spread out across the football world. Francis had to play Jimenez. McMahon tracks down Maloto.
It's the poorest service we've seen from Francis on a set piece this afternoon, but McMahon was coming from an offside position, so even if he'd been able to connect on the pass, it would have been blown dead anyway.
James toward Hume. Ranjitsingh sprawling out in front to intercept the cross there.
Nice job there from James, just to get the ball onto his right foot, open up the lane for the cross. Ball delivered in really well, but Ranjitsingh read it beautifully.
Changes her a foot. Ropapa Mensah will come on out of Accra, Ghana, replaces Michael Cox. This substitution brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. And Mensah was first seen at Inter Allies in Ghana on TV, and now's as good a time as any. There will be 27 games on TV this year for Nashville. Every Louisville game will be on TV in the Louisville area. And all the best to John Freeman and Ronnie Woodard, who are on the inaugural broadcast in Nashville. As this knocked back for Davis. Del Piccolo did not trouble Pickens. Richard Ballard's walking over toward the 4th official. James O'Connor gonna use his first substitute of the season soon enough. Plenty of contact there. Ball stayed in for Mensah. James. Davis. Maloto. Davis. Hearing the byline, service across, caught by Ranjitsingh, and a forearm shove from Tucker Hume.
Hume getting a talking to from the official, Mr. Peckwick. That was better from Nashville on the attack there, getting some width in their attacking third, spreading out Louisville City, creating the chance. The Hume run has to be in front of the goalkeeper, across the keeper's face to make life difficult. Hume was gambling that the ball was going to be deep enough to find him at the back post, but again, Ranjitsingh up highest in his penalty box, making the save nicely.
Rookie of the Year finalist, Richard Ballard is the move for Louisville. A substitution that's brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. And George Davis, former James O'Connor teammate in Orlando, comes off. Ballard out of DuPont Manuel High School in Louisville, went to Indiana. This bounces to Ranjitsingh and scored the game-winning penalty against New York Red Bulls 2 last year in the Eastern Conference Final, sending a crowd of 10,000 plus into a frenzy that was probably unimaginable 3 years ago in Louisville. McCabe. Francis circles around, serves. Maloto. Mensah. Grassa nearly lost that. Slowed up on the turf on his way. Hume lowering the boom, but Tatosh eventually got that away. James has this deflect off of him. Tucker Hume's built like a linebacker, isn't he?
He's a big lad. There wasn't much finesse about it, but it was certainly effective going through McMahon there. But again, Nashville, they're just finding some width now, a lot more purpose about what they're trying to do as well. Certainly since Mensah has come on. Right around the time that Louisville City scored the second goal, to me, Nashville looked like a team that were reacting to the game rather than trying to influence it. Right now, the guys in yellow seem like they're getting back on the front foot a little bit, realizing that they have to find a way back into this match.
Gary Smith said this week, and looking forward to seeing players and how they deal with the pressure of league games. You come out of preseason and you played 7 times and you defeated and drew MLS competition. You played good teams with really good results. But now everyone's 100% full go. It may take a little time to work the kinks out.
It's a great opportunity as a coach and also for the players, obviously, but to see how the team does deal with adversity.
There's a foul. There's a Kyle Smith who's in intense pain here. Smith was an Ironman a couple years ago, a preseason trialist. And the trainer's going to come on to look at him. A yellow card to LaGrassa. Came over from Reno and their great expansion team last year.
The referee has shown a yellow card to Nashville SC, number 20.
Well, Smith was just holding the outside of his right leg. Maybe got a boot on the outside of the shin guard.
But we take a look at tonight's Toyota move of the game. Let's go places. How about McCabe on this goal?
Oh, it all started with a lovely turn from Spencer. Takes some space. Look at that composure on the ball. Looks up, finds Jimenez on the diagonal run from the outside. And there's McCabe, easy as you like. A beautiful team goal, well worked from Louisville City. And the excitement from McCabe says it all. That was a great effort by those 3 players.
Now, there's commentary to be made that you could have driven a Camry through there after Pickens had vacated the goal, but what more is he supposed to do with Jimenez charging in on him? That's a foul against Spencer. And then some extra contact from Pickens. It looks like the whole thing inadvertent. Pickens and Francis, both as professional as they come. There's nothing meant by this, so it appears.
There was some good sportsmanship there from Pickens. Just checked on Francis, made sure that he was okay. A little tap on the back from the goalkeeper to the number 21, but Spencer does pick up a yellow.
Comes in the 81st minute. He had just 3 yellow cards last year in just over 1,700 minutes. Hume. Del Piccolo. Up by Reed. Long ball from Craig.
Tonight's attendance, presented by Hometown Pizza, is 7,933. Thank you to all of our hometown supporters for their support of Louisville City FC.
Chipped ahead by Kimura. Caught by Ranjitsingh. 11 shutouts in his 25 starts last year. 4-year starter at Mercer, still only 24 years old. And already in the pool for Trinidad and Tobago moving forward.
He's got a long career ahead of him. Knock on wood, he stays injury-free and is able to keep picking himself up off the turf and making those saves that are needed in practice to practice the position. If he's able to do that, he might have a career that rivals his opposite number, Matt Pickens.
James took that away with the help of LaGrassa. Nebo Maloto. Mensah. Knocked down by McMahon. Play on. Maloto. It's LaGrassa. LaGrassa serving to the back post. Kicked out in front. Craig knocks it away, and Hume has made a lot of those back post runs.
He has, and it's able to do that because Mensah, since he's come in, again, he's making those runs out to the flank. That's pulling those central defenders at wide, opening some space, allowing Nashville some time and space to get the ball around and into the attacking third.
Kimura, Mensah comes down, shot high from Maloto. Looking for a volleyed effort. Would have been Nashville's first.
Probably their best effort of the match. Kimura with a nice ball in, deflects around. He had to snatch at the shot. The pressure was coming. Couldn't have the patience needed to let that ball drop another 6 inches or so to put it on target.
Kimura. That's a handball. Flipped back by McCabe toward Reed. Pittsburgh is next, the new look team under Bob Lilly's stewardship now. Taking over in the offseason. Ball through for James. Hook slide by Jimenez was on point. That came at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. For Louisville, they look forward to a North Carolina FC. One of the new teams in the Eastern Conference, along with Nashville and Atlanta United too. James will come off. A good stint for him. And Taylor Washington, who came over from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, comes on. It's a substitution that's brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. And a free kick for Nashville with a Hume at the center of the physicality again. Davis. Lobbed back ahead by Washington, fresh off the bench, and a goal kick for Louisville City.
That was a well-worked short free kick down the near sideline. Just looking at Davis as he retreats back to his position in the back line. Is frustrated with himself. Knows the service needed to be better into that near post area, but in fairness, he didn't really have any gold shirts running across the face of goal to aim at either.
Washington. What a cheeky back heel from Maloto. Washington's service. He gets back to it. Maloto over the top. The turn. Mensah throws an arm up at McMahon. Play continues for Nashville, and McMahon finally does knock it away. And quickly back the other way. Spencer trying to burst through. And it's a corner to Louisville. Louisville looking to make their second move. And Niall McCabe, who's just announced the Modelo Man of the Match in the stadium, is on his way off. He was the goal scorer in the 66th minute. An insurance goal, as the first ever goal scorer for Louisville City, Magnus Rasmussen, returns after a one-year hiatus in Denmark.
Number 11, Niall McCabe.
Oh, applause from McCabe as he scored in his fourth consecutive match, including the preseason.
Good performance from McCabe today. Been busy in the midfield, not giving the time and space to Nashville that they would want in the middle area of the park to connect on their passes. And when it matters most, he gets through the back line and puts the ball in the back of the net.
Rasmussen, Magnus on the spot. Francis toward Tosh. Back by Washington. Nashville trying to find something late here. Perhaps find a point on the road. First touch, drawing back, and Pickens will boot it out. Nashville's used all three of their subs. Louisville's used a pair. And really, Gary Smith called this a benchmark. There's none better than Louisville last year. The season won't be made with a win or a loss next week, but he said everyone frothing at the mouth. The idea of getting out on the field and getting this season underway. And that won't change next week. They'll be equally excited to get home. Spencer battling here with Matt LaGrassa.
Doesn't look like LaGrassa was very happy with that battle either.
Francis. Ballard. Excellent from Justin Davis. Rasmussen. Francis. Spencer. Jimenez slides down. Into the 90th minute now. Reed. The overlap on from Washington. Further now for Maloto. Maloto cross back post. Lifted away by Craig. Kimura tracks it down at the byline and allows it out for a corner.
That was lovely footwork there from Maloto, but he opened the space for him to take the ball to the byline and cross it with his left peg. In the end, he sends it across with his right. It was a good service. Craig did really well to put that one out for the corner kick.
Gary Smith talked up the cannon of a left foot that Justin Davis has. Davis, in-swinger, back post, Hume! Caught at the goal line by Ranjitsingh, and he kept it out.
Great recovery from the goalkeeper. I have to admit, I lost him in traffic. That ball went on target from Hume. Look at the footwork from Ranjitsingh there. He was in traffic, but retreats to his goal line beautifully in his imperfect position to make a save look very easy.
Stoppage time is presented by Sullivan University, 2 minutes. Well, if you're Louisville, mission accomplished. You come off a short off season. You finished in mid-November here at home, a championship against Swope Park. You've played 3 consecutive long seasons going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a Nashville team with all this excitement and USL experience, and you've got a 2-0 lead in the final minute and a half of stoppage.
James O'Connor and the fans will be thrilled with what they've seen from the guys in purple today.
Hume lifted into the area. Mensah. LaGrassa steers wide. And a throw to Louisville. played this one in front of 7,933.
Good boisterous 7,933 as well. I don't think they've stopped singing the entire game.
Hume brings this down. Contact Mensah trying to roll through. Hume still, ball at his feet. Play continues. I'm not sure Nashville's dream is to have their first goal scored from the penalty spot in this moment, though.
I think they would take it if they had that chance, but that was no way a penalty. Tosh did a great job making that tackle, coming away with the ball.
Well, it's Pittsburgh next at Nissan Stadium for Nashville. They fall in their inaugural game. Louisville City begins their title defense with a perfect three-point performance against Nashville. A 2-0 victory for Louisville City in front of their home fans, Matt.
Tremendous victory for Louisville City FC. Played really well, had width, had determination going forwards, and finished the ball beautifully into the back of the net when they had their chances.
Spencer, the leading scorer last year, quick to the score sheet, smoke billowing out in the 56th. And again in the 66th from Niall McCabe. We'll wrap this one up from Slugger Field when we come back. Louisville 2, Nashville 0 at full time.
Waiting for spring? Be ready for all the season has to offer with a great deal on a new Toyota.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on any adventurous new 2018 RAV4. Or lease this well-equipped RAV4 LE for just $199 a month, now through April 2nd.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
So you finally got those implants? How do they feel? Like it wasn't painful?
Come on, you have to show us.
You look so different. You look amazing.
Wow, and they offer financing options?
They accepted your insurance?
Does Doug like them? I mean, I just can't get over it. They look fantastic.
I never would have thought those are dental implants.
You might have the wrong idea about implants too. For the truth about dental implants, call 502-IMPLANT.
At Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, I focus on taking care of my family, but I also focus on taking care of your family. We firmly believe that you've got to give back. Our primary goal is to do what's right for the patient. If that means glasses, contacts, or treating an eye condition, we will be sure you get the care that you need. We want to take care of you the same way we take care of all our family.
This is our family. And here at Dr. Mark Lennon Associates, we're focused on your family, the community, and most importantly, your vision.
14 wins at Slugger Field for Louisville City last year, 18 results in their 20 home games. Niall McCabe back for another year at Louisville City, delighting the fan base yet again. Matt Stubbington alongside Mike Watts. Here are your full-time highlights. And Louisville making this tough on Matt Pickens in the first half.
Oh, fantastic reaction save there from Pickens. Beautiful service on the free kick from Francis. He impressed today. But it was this man, Spencer. He was a chance in the first half was saved by Pickens, but Pickens had no chance on that one. Ball was served in beautifully from the left flank. A glancing blow with the head from Spencer, and the glancing blow from the post puts it into the back of the net.
So Niall McCabe scores through Spencer in the 56th, so he wants his own goal, right? Jimenez playing it across 66th, perfectly worked.
A great team goal. Spencer, lovely turn, heads up, finds Jimenez, finding the seam, finds the pass, finds the connection on the cross. McCabe in the back of the net. Beautifully done.
He's the man of the match with a goal and an assist. McCabe, here are the full-time statistics. And really, this wasn't that dominant a performance one way or the other, but Louisville took advantage of their chances.
Well, they took advantage of their chances, and the chances were better chances throughout the match. Nashville had their opportunities, but really they were from outside of the box, not much to speak of inside the 18. Louisville City had 3 or 4 good opportunities outside of the goals to score inside the penalty box.
Well, Louisville's got 2 exciting fixtures coming up at home here at Slugger Field. They look forward to North Carolina on Saturday the 24th, and the following Saturday, Joe Cole and the Tampa Bay Rowdies will play underneath that new flag that hangs over Slugger Field. The reigning champions, a three-point performance over Nashville. For producer Sharni Yerke, director Jim Clark, Brian Walls, analyst Matt Stubbington, Mike Watts saying so long for now. Louisville City, 3 points. McCabe and Spencer. It finishes Louisville 2, Nashville 0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.